Hi, I'm Steve Kraus, Chief of Insights for Similarweb. We just came out with our third annual Momentum Awards for brands crushing it in the digital space. In this video, I want to talk about 3 of our winners from the dollar store category. So let's take a look at the numbers. I'm in our Similarweb Pro SaaS platform. First, I just want to make sure that I've got my filters set the way I want them. I'm going to look at the past 2 years of data and focus on data from the United States, where these sites get 95% of their traffic from. Looking first at the category leader in terms of visits, we've got Dollar General, consistent growth throughout 2016, a very strong holiday season in 2016, and throughout much of 2017, certainly more volatility than they saw in 2016. But tracking about 20% ahead for the year, even though their holiday season wasn't quite as strong, a little bit more spread out, not just all in December, but a little bit spread out more over time. We see a pretty similar pattern if we take out Dollar General and put in Family Dollar. Consistent growth throughout 2016, a strong holiday season, more volatility throughout 2017, but they're tracking on average about 50% ahead of where they were in 2016. And if we look at our final winner in the category 5 below, as we saw before, growth throughout 2016, a very strong holiday season, and they're tracking about 5 to 10% ahead of where they were in 2016. If we bring all 3 of the brands together, we can see them in context. Here we're looking at monthly visits. I want to take a flip over and take a look at monthly unique visitors, where we see really pretty similar shapes of these curves for all 3 brands, which suggests that they're not just getting the same people to come more often, they're actually seeing real growth in the number of people visiting their site. And we also see consistent growth in one of our engagement metrics, average visit duration. We see Dollar General, the category leader in terms of visits, coming in lowest on this metric at about 3 minutes per session, rising to 4.5 to 5 minutes per session if you look at Family Dollar or 5 below. So that gives us a basic overview of what's going on these sites. I wanted to dig a little bit deeper, so I created a custom dashboard, which is super easy to do with drag and drop widgets. We've got up at the top total visits and average visit duration, which we saw previously. But if we want to take a deeper look into what's going on these sites, we can do that with some of the dashboard elements that I've set up here. First, we see that 80 to 90% of the traffic coming into these sites is mobile. If we look at where traffic on these sites is going more specifically, and here we'll look at Dollar General, they're set up in terms of folders. You see by far the largest folder is around savings and circulars and promotions and coupons. You see the holidays coming in there as well. You do see some search result folders, but by and large, if you were to look further down this list, you certainly get the sense that consumers are coming to this site not necessarily with specific products in mind, but to browse and shop around and find a good value-oriented fun deal. If we look at where these sites are getting traffic from, most of their traffic is coming through organic search, also a fair amount coming directly. But if we take a look at that organic search, we find that 90 to 95% of that is branded. So it speaks to the very strong brand names of all 3 of these. And again, it gives you a broader sense of how people are using the site. They're often going to a search engine, typing in these brand names, and then going to that site to surf around and look for what might be there. If we take a look at the demographics of visitors, we see across all 3 sites, they skew 60 to 65% women. If we look at the age distribution, there we see a bit of a different pattern with Family Dollar and 5 below, a little bit more evenly spread out across the 6 age groups that we tend to look at. If anything, they're doing a little bit better in the 55 plus categories. Whereas if we look at 5 below, there we see them performing very well with millennials. In the big picture, I think these brands are rising for 3 reasons. First, they've invested. They've invested in their stores, in their brands, in ways of reaching younger consumers. And they've invested in categories like food and beauty, which haven't historically been big winners for them, but are now performing well. Second, these brands are thriving because of the continued bifurcation of the economy. With income concentration, you've got 20% of the people at the top who are doing well, and the bottom 80%, including many middle-class consumers, are behaving from a consumer behavior point of view as if they're really struggling with an interest in store brands, coupons, and dollar stores. Finally, these dollar stores are thriving because they've stayed out of the middle. Luxury brands are doing well, dollar stores are doing well. What kind of brands are in the middle? Brands like JCPenney, Sears, and Kmart. Stay out of the middle. I'm Steve Kraus, Chief of Insights for Similarweb. May all your decisions be data-driven.